guys, welcome to this free YouTube lesson. This week's backing track is a fairly standard 5-1 progression in the key of A major. So those chords being an E7 chord of sorts, an E dominant 7 chord. This one having a flat 9 in, and then going to an A major 7 chord. Back and forth, back and forth. And there's a million and one things that you can play over this particular chord progression. It's a very common progression. But this week I've been working on some augmented scale material. So it kind of made sense to apply that to this jam and to this lesson. So pretty much everything that you heard in the previous jam over the E7 chords was from the augmented scale. And then over the A major 7 chords, it was a mixture really, but probably material from a Ionian and a Lydian primarily. So the augmented scale then, how does that work? Well, if we give an example in the key of F, we'd start on an F natural, and all the notes in this scale alternate augmented second intervals, then semitones, so minor second intervals. Augmented scale, minor second, augmented scale, minor second. Every single note alternates like that. So starting on an F, we'd then have an augmented second, which would take us up to G sharp. Then we'd have a minor second, which would take us up to A natural. And we'd have an augmented second, which would take us up to, well, enharmonically it'd be B sharp. Sounds as C, but we have to call it B sharp since it's the next note in the scale. And then after that, we're going to have a semitone interval, which would take us up to D flat. And then another augmented second, which takes us up to E natural. And so on and so on. And it keeps on going in that pattern. So that's the scale. Now, how does that work over dominant 7 chords? Well, you've got to be a little bit careful. If you're playing over, for instance, an E7, which we are in this particular jam, you'd play an augmented scale based on the flat 9 of the chord. So in this case, you'd start your augmented scale on the F, which is a semitone above the root of the chord. And there's an important thing to note. The scale of F augmented doesn't contain the 7th of the E7 chord. Doesn't contain a D natural. But it's not really a problem because your accompaniment guys will be playing a D in their voicings for their E7 chords. And your ear will fill in that as well because it's so commonly used in harmony. So it's not a problem. So let's load up the backing track and I'll play the scales over the right chords so that you can hear where the chords change and where you need to play your scales. And then you can have a go at it yourself. So this is going to be the E7 chord now. And then A. I played a Lydian there over the A chord. You could play Ionian, Lydian, whatever you like. So head over to bondtuition.co.uk, go to the free lessons section and load up the backing track and have some fun jamming over this one. See you next week, guys.